Hindsighters, thank you for tuning into In Depth with Ty Burnett on Hindsight Media Radio 103.5 FM, where there's always something good to talk about. Tonight, we're diving into the velvet smooth world of Marvin. What a woman wants and what a man needs to know. A stage play that doesn't just entertain, it awakens. This man, he's charming, he's layered, and he's about to meet a woman who flips his rhythm and rewrites his rules. What does a woman truly want? And what must a man really know? We're not giving away the ending, but we are pulling back the curtain on the man behind the mystery. Joining us is the one and only Marvin, whose story unfolds in the therapy room, dinner tables, and the quiet moments that change everything. So buckle up because this conversation is about to get real, raw, and resonant. Marvin, welcome to the mic and the moment. We're honored to have you here, not just as a character, but as a catalyst. Your story and what a woman wants and what a man needs to know will stir hearts, spark conversation, and remind us that smooth does not mean shallow, it means intentional.
Yeah.
Tonight, we're peeking and peeling back the layers, diving into the rhythm of your journey, and inviting our listeners to lean on in, just like you did with Miss Shirley. So, thank you for joining us and bringing us your voice to this space. Let's get into it.
How are you? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, tell us, Marvin, when you got this script, what drew you to this specific role, and how did you personally connect with the character's journey?
Okay, well, what brought me to this? Well, Orlando and I have worked in the past together. In his movie being released September 15th, Backstabbers, I play his older brother who I'm a retired vet, I believe, and after what happened to my grandmother, I'm coming back to settle the score, so to say. But yeah, I mean, I like the script. I was reading it and I was like, Mom, I said because I'm usually the villain, so
Mhm.
this time I didn't have to be the villain. I got to be kind of the flirt. So I was like, okay, it's definitely different. And I don't usually do plays, but that's my boy. So I said, all right, I got you, I got you. But yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Love that. Now tell us, since you just shared that you have previous worked with Orlando and you're currently working
Mhm.
with Orlando, how has that been with working with such a, I would say, great writer and director?
It's been it's been cool. I mean, him and I always, go, coincide with things. Like he's in a series that I co-write as a character, King J. So it's like we bounce back and forth. I was in Backstabbers 2 and he was, talked to me about getting in Atlanta's Ugly 2.0 and things like that. So he's in Atlanta's Ugly. I'm in Backstabbers 2. I'm in his play. I got like another probably 6 or 7 movies written and a couple of series. So I'll be using him in probably a few of those as well. So this acting community, it's a big community, but a small community, if that makes any sense. So
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of people who you see in these series and movies, you're gonna run into them again. You know what I'm saying? So, it's good. I like to keep a good rapport with everybody because you never know, when you're gonna see him again, when you're gonna work with him again. And so I just, try to keep everything mellow.
I love that. I love that. So take us back for a moment. How
Hmm.
did your journey into acting, music, and the stage begin? Like, what sparked it all for you? And if the spirit moves you, you can bless us with a little something now or later on in the conversation. Bring you right here into
Okay.
the studio.
Got you. Well, what sparked me to do it is really I didn't want to do it. My oldest daughter, well, she's still my oldest daughter, but she was because I've been doing it 14 years now. She was being submitted for modeling, and she was like, Daddy, I see something for a male actor. You want to do it? I was like, no. And of course, When I said no, she sent my martial art and military background and, my photo and the fact that I could, hold a tune when I need to. She sent it to, the people who were casting and they ended up calling me. So fast forward, I ended up being one of the posters for the movie and I ended up being like a futuristic assassin for Terrence Howard. But something happened in production where the film never came out, but I got
Hmm.
bit by the bug. So you figure now it's 14 years and I think I'm in 70 movies now.
Wow.
And yeah, just so now since I moved to Georgia 7 years ago, when I moved down here, I was in 37 movies and now it's 70 and now I'm in eight-time, let me get it right. Hold on. Eight-time multi-international award-winning writer, director, and actor. And last year I won the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award for helping over 160 actors in their careers by either putting them in things I've written or putting them in front of people that will further their careers. So I guess it was my calling because I did not want to do this. I was like, it wasn't on the radar. I wasn't trying to be, you got some people, oh, I've always wanted to be an actor and da da da. I'm like, I'm doing it, but it wasn't my dream. It's my passion now. But
Yeah.
I grew into it. It wasn't, I'm one of those stories where they say I literally fell into it because had she not sent the photo, I wouldn't have did it because I wasn't pressed. And then even with the first movie, the guy told me, he said I kept making the same facial expressions. I'm like, it's my face. So if I frown it, it's gonna look the same every time I frown it. So he said, you're not an actor. I was like, okay. And I could have just walked away then, like, you called me. I didn't call you, but being from Jersey, I'm like, you know what? Let me show dude. So fast forward, that movie didn't come out, but like I said, I was hustling, hustling, hustling. He hit me maybe 2 years later, same director. He's like, man, every time I look up, you're in. I see you everywhere. Well, how many movies
Mm.
you got? 13, 14. I probably was at that time, and I was like, yeah, something. I'm downplaying everything. And I'm like, yeah, I'm working a little bit. He's like, look, I got this movie for you. Blah, blah, blah. So he ran down all the details, and I'm like, okay. Well, first, send me a synopsis of the movie. Send me the script. Let me see if it's a character that I want to even be involved in. Send all this to my email. Let me know what the pay rate. Really, I knew I wasn't going to work with him, but the fact that you said I wasn't a good actor and that here you are reaching out to me,
Again.
basically, yeah, reaching out to me, trying to, because I'm gonna make your movie better, but nah, I'm good. Sometimes the best revenge is living well. I didn't even have to say anything. Just the fact that I know you want me in your movie because you know I'll make it better. No, I'm good. And that was kind of petty, but it is what it is at that point in time.
Yeah, it was more one of those things I can show you better than I can tell you.
Yeah, yeah,
And you did. And still doing
absolutely,
it, right?
absolutely.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about. We have to mind our tongues sometime, right?
Right,
That's
right.
right. I love that. I love that. Now, do you want to go ahead and give us a little piece of your talent?
Oh, you're gonna get a song. Oh, let me see.
We go get a song.
Ah, what, Fred Hammond? Let me see.
Whatever you want. Baby Gerald Levert.
Gerald too. All right, let me see. Fred Hammond. Falling apart and tearing at the seams. Tribulation lends a hand, seizes all your hopes, all your dreams. You said you retreat, you said you just can't win. For you let your circumstance tell you how the story ends. Know that is word. Okay, that's Fred.
All right, Fred, let's go.
Oh man, you
You
said
got enough? You got a
Gerald.
secular one for us?
Gerald.
Listen, you can do whatever you want. You can bless us whatever. It doesn't have to be
But
Gerald.
you already know how that is. When somebody asks you to sing, it's like you can't think of nothing. And if I hang up, I had 60 songs. Let me
That's
see,
right. That's
Gerald,
right.
Gerald, Gerald, Gerald. If you were my woman and I was your man, baby, I'd give you everything you deserve. See, it's a shame he don't treat you right. With me, it'll be an everlasting fire. There go little Gerald.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Kudos
Uh,
to you. Let's go. And guys, that's a little snippet. That's a little snippet.
little snippet, right, right.
Thank you for sharing your awesome talent with us. Now, tell us, let's
Yes.
get back to what a woman wants and what a man needs to know.
hmm
How would you describe yourself before meeting the infamous Shirley?
Marvin seems like he's a pretty good guy. I'm checking out his persona and everything. I'm listening. I know he's a professor at the theology school, so he got his head on straight. He's a man. He sees something that he wants, and he's gonna go after it. I ain't gonna say by any means necessary because he's a
Yeah.
gentleman, but he got to put his foot down a little bit. That's why I'm not gonna take no for an answer. You
But
know,
what was it about Shirley that you immediately noticed that caught your attention and you wasted no time?
well, it was the beautiful smile. Of course, I have a thing for smiles and lips and things like that. So
Okay.
it all coincided. So it forced me to open my mouth, and it just came out.
So do you think that timing plays a role in connections, or is it something deeper than that?
Timing definitely plays a role because you may meet the woman of your dreams while you with the woman of your nightmares.
Oh, Father.
Yeah, so timing definitely plays a big part in relationships and you meeting that what could be that special person because it's almost like that Carl Thomas song, I wish I never met her at all. Because he
Mm-hmm.
met who he wanted to be with, but unhappily married with children. So he wished he never met her at all. So absolutely timing makes a big difference.
Well, so you threw yourself into this, so you're going to have to answer this one, Marvin. You
What's
mentioned
that?
that you see the woman of your dreams, but you're
hmm
with the woman of your nightmare.
hmm
Now, these listeners, they
hmm
might go off on you thinking like, some of the women, right? They may say, wait a minute. So you had a woman
hmm
that you met, but you're with the woman and you have children.
hmm
Walk us through, how do you, as a man,
hmm
or how do men navigate through such a thing? Like you're with someone, right, who is, that you guys have fallen out of love, and the relationship itself has become very challenging. And like you said, it becomes your nightmare. You're not where you were in the beginning because we know in life
Right.
everything and everybody changes, right? So
Absolutely.
how do you navigate through something like that?
It's crazy because you're not supposed to and you can't cross the line per se, but I mean, the only thing you really can do it, and up until a certain point, is be a friend. You can be a friend. And like I said, timing is everything because sometimes being a friend, you leave the door open for somebody else. I may feel a certain way about you, but I
Mhm.
can't go there. And by me not going there, ended up going someplace else, and I'm friend zoned. And then it depends. It's like a marriage because I actually said this because I used to be a deacon once upon a time. Yeah, I know, right? So I actually said this to a friend of mine. He was he's still a deacon, but him and his longtime relationship girlfriend turned wife, they broke up, and then same instance happened with me in my 30-year relationship. So we ended up going our separate ways. And I was like, did you ever think of when you said your vows, when it says till death do you part?
Mm.
Does that mean the physical or does that mean the death of the marriage? Because once God isn't in the marriage anymore, the marriage is dead. So now am I supposed to stick around till I physically die too? And he was like, you know what? That's a good question. And I've asked several people of the cloth that, and they trying to look and find script. Everybody's saying they'll get back to me, but it's like you do say till death do you part, but if the marriage is dead, is that the death? Or is it the death of the human body? Because why, if the marriage is dead, do you have to stay in something till you physically die? Let's say the marriage been dead 10 years.
Hmm.
You just there. It's just every day it's just an argument, an insult, everything. It's just you're just there. You two bodies in the same house because you said these vows till death do you part, but you're still doing everything as if you were single anyway, and the marriage is dead. So what death is it? What death do you have to stick around for? Because if the marriage is dead, why am I here?
Now, did you say no one of the cloth has answered that question for you?
A couple of people. I had one friend that I grew up with. I knew her since she was like, since we were like 16, 17. And she
Sure.
gave me a couple of scriptures about it. And it's like, I'm still kind of iffy about it because once again, are you supposed to stick around after the marriage is dead? You both agree that it's dead. You both agree, you both know you need to or been needing to go your separate ways for years now. Could be 10 years now. You just literally two people in the house. You walk in, you speak, she in this room, you in this room, she on the phone with whoever, you on the phone with whoever. So, like, how long is that supposed to go on before somebody says, okay, look, like, come on. We both sitting here miserable. My
Hmm.
blood pressure 200. Now I'm
Oh,
one
no.
foot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm one foot in the grave because I'm sticking around. The kids are grown. So, because a lot of times that's what it is. You stick around for the kids, and it's like, okay,
Hmm.
I'm gonna love my child regardless,
Sure.
whether we're together or not. So now the kids are grown. So what? We just really just looking at each other. And I believe if you leave early enough, you can kind of maintain some decorum and some type of decency with each other. But if you just stick around till you despise each other, when it
Mm.
finally happens, it's like, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. I don't care if I ever see you again. None of that. So that's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah. Well, I asked the question because my big brother, who is phenomenal, who is a pastor and a law enforcement officer, gives a phenomenal answer to what you just stated. So I'm going to make sure he gives you an answer because
Absolutely.
he is down to earth and super amazing and such a wordy. Oh gosh, I can't wait till you
Okay.
listen to him and hear him from the real side, not the buffoonery,
Right.
not just giving you scriptures. He will give you scriptures, but he's going to give
Right.
you real life with it, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so let's move into what does smooth mean to you, and has that definition changed?
Smooth, yeah, smooth has changed for me now. Cause
Okay.
I even joke now. Cause when I was younger, smooth mean, how many women you can, talk to. Like when I was younger, it was,
Your
getting
roster.
getting a bunch of phone numbers and stuff like that. Like, I got 10 phone numbers. So, that was smooth. Now smooth is definitely different. I joke sometimes where I'll be like, boy, almost pulled my player's card out my wallet again. But it's a joke. But now smooth is I like peaceful. I never knew how much peace meant until I didn't have it anymore. And when you obtain it again, you just want everything to just say I'm about to say it. You just want everything to just be smooth sailing.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up, if you go to work, whoever you with, it's no drama. If it's a misunderstanding, you can talk about it, can move on. I don't have to force my opinion on you. I give my opinion, you give yours. If we don't agree, we meet halfway. So smooth now is just being able to just flow. Nice, smooth, mellow life.
I love that. Now, tell me, what surprised you most about Shirley?
Well, with Shirley, she I don't know. Like I said, she was fighting. I want to say fighting the feeling because she had her own drama going on, but you know how you can tell if somebody's attracted to you. You know, it's like that natural magnetism. Like if somebody meets you, it's a feeling. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like you can meet five women and only one of them gives you that feeling. I mean, this could even be the
Mm,
same event, same night. And it's like you didn't talk to 20 people and it's just that one. It's like, there's something, you know how they say it's something about her.
yeah.
And you know, that's what it was. It's something about it. It's just you can't always describe it. It's just it's just a feeling where you want to get to know more.
I love that answer because that leads me to ask you, how do you as a man balance charm and authenticity?
I'm glad you used that word charm because my lady says the same. So many people say that. I'm like, first of all, in 2025, who's still using the word charming? Because everybody says I'm charming. I don't feel like I'm charming. I just feel like I'm me. So like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know. Okay. She wanted some cookies, oatmeal cookies, and they didn't have no more out. We in the supermarket. So I went to the young lady and I was like, pardon me, young lady. I was like, are there any more, oatmeal cookies? And then she was like, yeah, they in the back. And I said, so you don't want to get me none? She says, I'll go get it. So then she went and got it. Is that being charming? I'm just being me. And then I walked up, I was like, here go your cookies. She said, yeah, you over there charming, leaning in there talking low. I'm like, I'm
But
like,
I think that's more authenticity.
yeah, yeah,
That's more
I'm not being
authenticity, and
charming.
that is you being intentional, that's you being
Yeah,
caring, that's you being
exactly.
loving, that's you going
But
the
she talking
extra
about
mile.
how I speak to and then I call everybody young lady. I don't care if you're not even when I'm at work, 90 years old. I'm like, how you doing, young lady? How can I help you? I don't know if that's considered charming, but you're supposed to make a woman feel good, even for the moment. So I'm sorry, that's what I try to do.
No, be unapologetically you. I think
Right.
it's just your smoothness. It's just how you're
That's
wired.
cool.
It's how you're built.
Right,
And
right.
with that comes a little charm indirectly, not necessarily
Right, there it
directly.
is. Yeah, yeah, indirect charm. Okay. We'll say like even it was one because I used to get I ain't gonna lie, it's easier for me to get roles with women, like far as if they're casting.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean I can do it with men too, but like this one girl, she just posted you know, casting complete. And I was like, well, what's this? So I went and looked at the cat. The casting was like a week prior and this and that. So, I went in her inbox. I was like, excuse me, young lady. Excuse me, young lady. I was like, question. How is casting complete? And I don't know what role I'm playing. And she like, what? She was like, did you submit? I was like, no, I thought you could feel I'm supposed to be in your movie.
Okay.
And then of course she started laughing and whatnot. She's like, boy, send me your stuff. I ended up being a detective in the movie. Is that charm or is that, I mean, I don't think
That's
so.
charm.
Is it?
Now
Well,
that's charm. That's leading charm.
okay. Well,
No, and that's also putting yourself out there. You're
right, right,
you're kind of telling this is what I want. You're
right,
going after what you want.
right.
She didn't even know
Okay.
you needed you until
Right,
you were there. So
right.
yes, that's charm, but it's not charm
Okay.
to get with her. It's
Right.
charming your way through to
What
your
I'm trying to
another
get.
endeavor.
Right.
I'll
Okay. Well,
take it.
I
Let's
guess I guess
go.
I guess I'm a little charming then when I need to be, huh?
But you're charming and authentic.
Right,
So it's a
right.
balance. It's a good balance. So,
Okay,
what
okay.
does emotional intimacy look like from a man's perspective?
At this point in my life, emotional intimacy is quite important because now, everything isn't about the physical anymore. Because we
Hmm.
getting older, so the physical gonna start suffering after a while. But everything is. I mean, everything to be able to have somebody to talk to. Sometimes it's just you get into work, you take your stuff off, and you can just lean back on the couch on her. That's intimacy. That's emotional intimacy. You don't got to say a word. Just the fact that you know how I feel about you and I know how you feel about me
Hmm.
without even words being expended. Just me, maybe even just hugging you and don't say nothing. Don't say anything. Get on the couch, hug you, just lay my head on your chest while I'm on my knees on the floor. Simple stuff.
Yeah. So have you had to unlearn something about love or masculinity?
Let me see. I wouldn't say unlearn something about love because love is love, but I had to reprogram myself about trust because
Mm.
I shut trust down. I like, I just wasn't doing it. I was stuck, you know, in a rut per se with a relationship, and nah, I wasn't. And even my lady now, I told her, I was like, girl, if you ever do me dirty, the dog you gonna turn me into ain't gonna be funny. Because I said I wasn't gonna trust nobody with my heart again. So for me to do it, and if I get done dirty this time, whew, mm.
Mm.
But I'm not looking for that. So
Okay, well, let's pivot to, or let me ask you this then. In that case, given your
mhm.
answer, what role does silence play in a relationship?
Silence. I gotta work on silence because I need to know. That's my thing.
Well, you're
I
not a mind reader, but okay.
Yeah, right. I need to know. So I'm one of the ones I don't get all irate, but I'm more inquisitive. Okay, and I'll start it off. So let me ask you a question. So when I start off like that, we about to talk about something that done probably bothered me or disturbed me. And I asked, but I mean, I can I'll you know what? I'll be silent first. So it is important because I'm silent to find out, not to find out, but to get it exactly how I want to ask it. I'm going to get the exact format, the exact questions I'm going to ask if you give me this answer, if you give me this answer, if you give me the other answer, I'm gonna have everything that I need to ask and need to get explained to me. So when it's done, it's done. So silence plays a because silence gives you time to think. Because if you react before you think, that's when it usually goes sideways and stuff gets said that don't need to get said a lot of times. But yeah, I'm a thinker because then people already know. If I say, let me ask you a question, they already know I done gave it plenty of thought. So get ready.
Love that. So, what do what do you wish that women understood about men and vice versa, or men understood about women?
Well, women understand about men. See, a lot of men aren't going to be, I don't want to say emotional. A lot of men don't open up. This is crazy because I just did a radio interview last night, similar to this question you're asking. A lot because it was saying about how men don't have a safe space
Mm-hmm.
until they snap, and then some of them end up killing the women and then eventually killing themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm saying how I have a disconnect. Like after so much, I can disconnect. And like my lady says, I self-soothe. And I didn't realize I self-soothe, but yeah, she says she'll watch me and I'll sing on this app, I'll write, I'll go to the gym, and that's my way of self-soothing and not really, I don't want to say dealing with the problem right then, but it keeps me smooth, I guess, because I'll find something to do other than sit there and harp on the problem. And a lot of guys, I think that would be a good thing because you keep stuff bottled up, and then because I used to be like that, I keep it bottled up until you push me,
Mm.
and then when it comes out, now it's like a volcano. Like, well, since you want to talk about it, how about when you did? And then I got a list because I never said anything about it. So now I say guys need to open up and just and get it out as soon as it happened. I don't care if it's the 10th time. It shouldn't be the 10th time that I have to bring something to you. So I would say, yeah, you really need to get it out and don't hold it in. So I wish women knew or wish women listened when guys are trying, when if they actually break down and try to give you and tell you their feelings, don't belittle them. Like I hate when people know something about you and then they use it against you,
Mm.
during an argument. Because it's like you don't have to worry about me ever saying anything to you personal again. because you used it against me. So why would I ever open up to you again?
Absolutely. I love that. Love that. Now, you fell right into this ask because you talked about self-soothing and, going to your music, which you're so awesome
Mm.
on. So, if your story were a song, what
Mm.
genre would it
Oh,
be
it's
and why?
R&B. I'm R&B. I've been R&B since sixth grade. So, but because I don't know. I resonate with, I mean, I listen to hip hop and stuff like that, but
Sure.
my body and soul resonates with R&B because it's the lyrics. The lyrics actually talks, well, used to talk about the things that's going on in life. You know, hip hop is usually about money and what you can obtain, but R&B is usually about love or hurt or things like that. So my life song would definitely be R&B.
So, do you have a go-to song?
It depends on the situation. Yeah. If it went look when I'm not dealing with somebody or it looked like it was coming to an end, boys to men, I'm doing just fine.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Um, let me see. When I'm in a happy, healthy relationship,
Yeah.
probably Luther Vandross, so amazing. You can't ask me that. I'm 52. You know how many
Well, you gave
songs
you
I
gave us a
got?
snippet. You gave us a snippet. That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm about to say, you know how many songs I got that fit situations? Man, I
Well, do
got
you have so is there something that really, if someone is like, I need you to on the spot, I need you to give me just this one song that just raves
Mhm.
you. Or like, who's your favorite artist? Do you have one?
No, no. I try to Jaheim. I try to
Okay.
represent him a lot because he looked like he going through, and he's from, I hate to say my hood, but he's from my hood. So Jaheim is from East Orange, and I'm from Newark, New Jersey. That's only 10 blocks away. So yeah, I do a Jaheim song. Yeah, I
Okay,
do.
cool beans. So let's talk about the fellas for a minute because oftentimes, like you said, you were on an interview last night, and it
Hmm.
seems that the fellas seem to get overlooked quite often, right?
Hmm.
So, and you have that smooth energy. It's even coming off in this
Is it?
this radio interview as well. But it's clear that there is substance behind the style.
Absolutely.
You're intentional about it. So when we talked about charming and being authentic, the authenticity, you're good. You're
Right.
it's
Well,
it's
thank
babes,
you.
it's good stuff, not in a negative way. But
Thank
what
you.
advice would you give to men who are trying to genuinely, be that authentic self, being their authentic self,
Right.
when they're
Right.
trying to genuinely connect, whether it's, kind of capturing a woman's heart or
Hmm.
just simply soothing or shooting what the young kids say, shooting
Shooting
their
the
shot?
shot. Right.
Shooting their shot or,
I s-
with intention respect.
I would say just be yourself because that's my thing because what the kids say now also when you put on that front they call it your representative now, and
Yes.
this is my thing. How long is your representative going to represent for you? Because
Ooh,
you'll slip eventually if you plan to be a certain way and that's not your authentic self. Eventually you're gonna slip. The real you is gonna come out. So why don't you just go ahead and start with the real you? Because that's what I do. And I used to tell, my lady all the time. I'm like, she'd be like, it's just, I'm like, look, I can only be myself. She was like, but it's like she amazed that, I am how I am. And I'm like, I'm
mhm.
just being me. So
Yeah.
it's no, and I would say it, I'm like, well, have I changed, since you met me? I'm like, this is me. People, you got people, I'm not everybody's not telling. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You feel a certain way about me. It's probably, a couple of girls, whatever, that may say something, I don't want to say slick, but say something. But I'm like, everybody don't feel me just because you feel me. So,
Hmm.
so how you feel about me, the world don't feel about me like that. I'm not able, hell, I'm only 5'9". You got people who he got to be 6 feet or above, and I'm not no little dude. I know big is in now, but I'm not no little dude. I'm never gonna be that, little slim, tall. That's not me. So people who gravitate towards me have to like somebody like me.
That's right.
So,
And
right.
there's nothing wrong with you.
Well, thank you.
Ron, aka Marvin.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I tell you what, my
What's
grandmother
that?
used to say, you can look at what's on the menu, but your steak and mashed potatoes are at home.
Right. And he holding a knife at the house. No, let me stop.
I love that. I love that. Now, so what do you hope audiences walk away with after seeing what a woman wants and what a
Mhm.
man needs to know?
Well, from my point of view, mine and Shirley's, I would say to never give up, even if you're seem like you're in a bleak situation to where it seems like everything is going wrong, you're never going to get out of it. It's just you're just stuck there for life. Nah, never give up. You still there's always that glimmer of light. You just have to look hard enough to find it. There's somebody out there for you, whether you know it or not. It can be 10 years, 20 years. In my case, 30 years.
Wow.
I've used I used my whole youth, 20s, 30s, 40s. Now I'm 52. And I was, you might as well say 49. So 50. So at 50, I was like, oh wow, healthy relationship. So this is what it's like. So yeah, I would just say, nah, never give up. Never give up. I mean, you choose to tolerate what you choose to tolerate, but when you had enough, you'll know. And you'll do what you need to do when you have enough.
I love that. Now, share with the audience and listeners what other projects that you're currently working on and where listeners can follow you and support you.
Okay, so current projects I'm working on, another one with Orlando is, well, I can't say working on. Actually, it's going to be released September 15th. Backstabbers 2 comes out. Backstabbers 2 Retribution comes
Mhm.
out on Tubi and probably a few other streaming platforms. I have one that I actually written called In His Mother's Shadow. It's a psychological thriller about a young lady who I don't know if she doesn't really realize, like I write it and I'm saying it like I don't know. She doesn't realize that she may have possibly killed her son and she
Oh, geez.
blocked it out. So it's a whirlwind of the detectives coming, to investigate her, then her best friend's husband, everybody is on her trying. You got the ones who trying to comfort her, then you got the ones who trying to come for her. But she'll hear her son's voice and doors slamming and closing. So she really honestly doesn't remember what she did to her son. She said she remembered the crying and a thud. So is the thud that she done bust him in his head,
Oh,
So yeah, so I'm not gonna give y'all the story, but that's one of the synopsis. I'm a co-writer for an ongoing series called Atlanta's Ugly, but they have numbers now because I started writing. I was a character at first, and I started writing maybe 3 years ago. So Atlanta's Ugly 2.0, 2.1, and 2.2, I was pretty prevalent in as far as writing in a character. And then I phased out a little bit because I started writing my own projects. So I have about 7 movies and 3 series written. I have Blood, what is it called? Blood something. I can't think of it, but I have a 21st century vampire movie written. I have a movie written about a couple, successful couple. One is a real estate agent, one is the husband is construction, she's real estate, but the brother, you always got that brother. So my brother is Caucasian, but he was the one in the streets and he was laundering money from somebody, but he went to jail when he came home. The people think that we started our businesses with the laundering money, so they coming after us now. So that's a little snippet of that. But I got a bunch going on.
okay. Do you have a handle that you want people to follow you on?
Everything is my name. On Facebook, I'm Theron Dumas. On Instagram, I'm Theron. Is it Theron Dumas X? Yeah, Theron Dumas X on what's the other one that TikTok, actor Dumas. So long as you get my name spelled right, the first name, Theron, everything will come up. So everything
Love
I didn't use a fancy, because it gets confusing if I start using, actor from New Jersey on one and then the Ron on the other. So I just kept everything as my name. Look, my name is unique and weird enough. So once you got the handle on how to spell my name, you can find me anywhere.
I love that. So I'm gonna pull a Theron and I'm
Yeah.
going to say now, I look forward to being in one of those plays or movies that you're writing.
Okay. All right now, because I'll call you.
Well, call me, I will answer.
All right, I got you.
Love that. So, Marvin slash Theron, thank
Yeah.
you for bringing your voice, your
Ah,
vulnerability, and your velvet smooth insight in
thank you.
today's interview. You did not just show up, showed out.
Thank you.
So, I thank you for dropping the gems and just you cracked open the vault.
Ah,
And you led
thank
us
you.
into everybody have to come see this show and follow Theron, aka Marvin, and all the things that he's doing. But from smooth talk to soul truth, this man reminds us of what a woman wants and what a man needs to know aren't
Yes,
just
ma'am.
lines, they are lifelines. If
That
you
part.
haven't seen the play yet, because it's airing on September 20th, do yourself a favor and come and join us. And if you've already seen it from previous years, the first time, go again.
That part.
Because every time Marvin speaks, something new unfolds. So thank you again, Marvin, for showing us
Thank
that real
you.
connection isn't about perfection, it's about presence. And until
Thank you.
next time, keep your hearts open and your mind in tune, Marvin.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
All
for
right,
having me.
so everyone, hurry and purchase your tickets today. They are selling fast. And join us at Porter Sanford III Performing Arts Center off Rainbow Drive, Indicator, Georgia, on Saturday, September 20th, 2025. And there are two show times. You can come to one or you can come to both, 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Tickets available now at Ticket Leap. And trust us, they are going fast. This is the kind of show that sells out and stays in your spirit. So, listeners, thank you to every heart tuned in tonight. Thank you for letting us be a part of your rhythm, your reflection, and your ride home, or your quiet moment of pause. May your days be filled with purpose, your nights be filled with peace, and your spirit with the kind of joy that lingers long after the music fades. We'll be right here when you're ready to tune back in. Until then, be bold, be kind, and be unapologetically you. This is In Depth with Ty Barnett on Hindsight Media Radio, 103.5 FM, where there's always something good to talk about. Visit our website at www.hindsightmediaradio.com. Good night.